Geno, it seemed like after the loss, we were always interested to see how the team responds. What did you see from your team yesterday and today? And if you could address, in particular, Olivia after her struggles from Thursday night.
I don't ever think, and I've said this forever, and you guys that have followed our team, you know what I'm talking about. I don't ever think one game defines who you are as an individual or as a team. Because right after the Oklahoma game, you guys were ready to name Olivia Naismith Award winner. One game doesn't define a player. One game doesn't define a team. So the Baylor game, Liv failed miserably. She knows it. She feels terrible about it. So you have a choice. Like, what are you going to do after that? Start building yourself back up. Start putting together some good performances. Little by little, and then let the next month kind of start to define who you are. And our team, I think, the same way. I think they were pretty embarrassed, by what happened in that fourth quarter. To be able to play 35 really good minutes, when they watch the film and there's 4:50 left in the game and it's a 3-point game. To see that kind of deteriorate to what actually happened those last 4 minutes was just embarrassing. And they really took it to heart. And hopefully, build on it. I just think my players are really, really smart. They were really intelligent today. They did a lot of really smart things. I'm really proud of their intelligence.
Obviously, the score wasn't really close for the majority of the game, or all the game, but Evelyn did play the most she has for the whole season. Can you just talk about how her development is going so far, and where she's at right now?
So far it's been, there's pre-Christmas Evelyn and there's post-Christmas. So before Christmas, before she left for Christmas, she was in a really bad place. Meaning, she knew she wasn't doing anything that was going to get her on the court. And she got very discouraged about it. And her work ethic and her, approach to everything we did was she was just going to be buried on the bench the entire season, and it'd be a wasted season for her. And since she got back from Christmas, from the very first practice, there's been a difference in her. And she and I talked when she got back, and I said, there's still plenty of time in this season for you to have an impact and for you to get something out of this. And hopefully I can help her do that. But she's made the strides that we need her to make, and she knows how to play basketball. And she's a big body. I mean, she's a big kid, and we certainly need that. So hopefully there's something there. But I feel better about it than I did a month ago. Let's put it that way.
The offensive execution early on, Geno, very pleased with that. It just seemed like there was a good flow and rhythm out there.
Yeah, there was. The whole first quarter felt like we could do whatever we wanted. We have to keep getting better at what happens when we make a couple substitutions and the flow is interrupted. Because it felt that way in the second quarter. When you watch us play, you always go, the first quarter is always pretty good, and the third quarter is not bad. And it's the second or fourth quarter. Well, that correlates with when we actually go and make a bunch of substitutions. So we got to figure out how we can get our offense to stay fluid when we don't have our normal lineup in the game. And I thought today we did a better job of that.
Talked a little the other day about Anna being a little tentative. Did you see her be more aggressive today?
Yeah.
9 shot attempts.
Yeah, yeah. You know, if you've ever been to Europe, you know, when you watch European players play, they're nothing if not overconfident. You know, they have this abundance of confidence, which I think is what allows a lot of them to be really good players when they come over here. So when we went to the Mavs game the other night, I made a point to say to her, I said, you see that kid down there? He's only a year older than you. I think that hit home a little bit. I said, that kid's only a year older than you. He probably doesn't come here and wonder, should I shoot, should I not? Should I pass, should I not? Age is, you know, you came all the way over here to prove something, to play basketball. So start playing basketball. Stop worrying about what if, should I? That's where she was trapped in. And I got to tell you, these last 3 or 4 games, she's been really good. Whether the points are there or not, it doesn't matter. I thought she battled her butt off against Baylor. You know, and she's playing with a lot more confidence. Let's put it that way. You know, so hopefully, she'll become a triple-double machine.
Geno, you alluded to it a little bit, but in this Twitter universe world where everybody has a talk show, you got a little criticism for
Somebody told me that.
your use of words, like calling them
Dummies.
So,
Yes, that's
how do you deal with every word you say being dissected like that these days?
Somebody said to me, said, yeah, you know, they're talking about you. And I said, really, what'd they say? And they said that something. And I go, well, you know what's interesting in the world? I don't get the comment on all the dumbass stuff that you people say. And I guarantee you, because you talk or write, the people on TV talk a lot more than I do. They say a lot more dumbass things on TV than I ever say in my whole life. So we're even. I feel like I'm joining the crowd. But you know, I mean, I'll bet you there's not a day that goes by that I don't say at least to one of my players, when they do something, I go, yo, that was dumb. And they look at me and they go, I know. I go, well, you know what? Good players, they generally don't do dumb stuff. And they go, I know. So I make it a point to tell them that really good players make smart decisions. So they know exactly what I'm talking about. Not worried about what somebody out there thinks. Could care less what they think. And they shouldn't care what I think.
Anything else?
Anything else?
Geno, I don't think we had a chance to ask, or maybe you were and I missed it, and I apologize if I did. Swin Cash is a finalist for the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame, and she was also nominated for the Naismith Hall of Fame in her first year of eligibility.
Mm-hmm.
Someone that's more familiar with the process than we are, what are her chances, for the Women's Hall this year and maybe in the future for the Naismith?
Well, what do you have to do to be in the Hall of Fame? You have to win a lot. You have to be an impact player. You have to have a presence in college, in the pros, in the Olympics, all over basketball. So when people say, what do you need to be in the Hall of Fame? Well, Swin has all those things. She has national championships. She has WNBA championships. She has Olympic and World Championship gold medals. What else do you need? So, I mean, obviously Rebecca is a Hall of Famer because she's Rebecca Lobo and what she did. There's a lot of my players that, if the process is what I think it is, are going to be Hall of Famers. And Swin is one of them. I mean, that's a no-brainer for me. Women's Hall of Fame, Naismith Hall of Fame, Stewart's Hall of Fame, Pittsburgh Hall of Fame, McKeesport Hall of Fame. Doesn't matter. Any Hall of Fame that she's eligible for, she's a no-brainer. That's a given. And as soon as she, as soon as she joined the Pelicans, they signed all these, they traded for all these great players. She had an impact on the Pelicans right away. At least we tell her that name.
Geno, today you guys extended one of your more impressive streaks. And
Another streak.
but this one is pretty impressive. 975 straight games without back-to-back losses. None of your players were alive the last time you lost consecutive games. I mean, just talk about that consistency within the program and how baffling that stat is.
That is. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, it's. I don't even know how you comment on it. I don't even know how to describe that. It is one of those things that you say, it's really remarkable. I don't know what else to say. It's a remarkable achievement, accomplishment, or whatever the word is. It's remarkable. It doesn't really make any sense. How many games was it, did you say?
975.
Man. Wow. I remember talking to some NBA people a few years ago, and they were asking me, they said, is that true? You haven't lost back-to-back games in, I don't know, how many years is it?
93.
93. No, not 93 years, 93.
1993.
1993.
27 years.
27 years. They said, you haven't lost back-to-back games in 27 years. Is that true? I go, yeah. Oh, they go, well, if you were in our league, we'd take care of that in November. And I thought, yeah, in every facet of sports, losing is a big part of the game. It's a big part of the game. And how you explain this, I don't know. No idea. I have no idea. I really don't. I wish I could say I coach really good after losses. I don't think that's the case. It's probably, we have a lot of opponents right after a loss that are probably thinking, uh-oh. I don't know. Wish I had the answer. I don't know. It's pretty remarkable. But some of my players weren't born the last time we shot 30% from the floor either. So they have a lot. They have a lot to be proud of. What was the last time we shot 29%?
Was it last year?
Last year,
Taylor?
yeah.
Last year. Like 29.4.
And then
So
it was
2 years in a row?
And then it was 29.7 against Iowa State.
19 what? 1999? Yeah. 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 You're right. It's a weird thing, man. It's a weird thing. I wish I had the answer.
Well, what's the unranked opponent streak now?
Huh?
What's the unranked opponent streak now? Is
I have no idea.
197.
197 straight.
197.
So you guys talk this stuff into existence and then it's gonna end. Like if nobody mentions it, this stuff goes on forever. You guys keep talking about it, it's gonna end.
Well, Oregon's supposed to be the best team in the country. Their streak's at 0.
Probably next week. Next week, I'll say to somebody, we won 197 in a row against unranked teams. We'll lose. We'll lose twice next week. Oh, we'll lose twice and back to back.
Well, I could see a loss, but I didn't see him back.
Back to back.
First streak is one now.
Just,
Please wait for the microphone.
we have a 1-game winning streak. We're on a roll.
98.
Hey, the
ahead.
longest winning streak you ever had before you got here was 5.
Yeah, well, listen, I just watched the Golf Channel, so if they ain't talking about me on the Golf Channel, I'm happy. Any of the other stuff, I have no idea. How many streaks, how many games, all this and that, what so-and-so said, what so-and-so said. If it ain't on the Golf Channel, I don't know about it.
Go ahead.
Did you like what you saw out of Aubrey today with a lot of rebounds, especially offensive, but then a lot of turnovers?
Yeah. Aubrey's. This is where one time I wish, for the most part, that high school girls coming into college as freshmen were more like high school guys coming into college as freshmen. So I wish Aubrey had that mentality. You know, like, I'm going to go to college. I'm only going to be there 1 year. I'm going to be a one and done. I'm going to shoot it every time I touch it, and I'm going to try to average 25 a night, and I wanted to get drafted in the first round. I wish they were like that. Instead, they come and go, do you think I should shoot? What do you think if I drive? Would that be okay? Like, they so desperately want to be able to do the right thing and blend in and fit in with their teammates that you like drives you crazy because you're constantly pushing them to do more, do more, do more. And if I could get Aubrey to play like a sophomore or junior in the next 2 months, we would be 100% better as a team. That's how good she is. So it's a work in progress. I'm gonna have to show her film of all these guys playing college basketball and say, try to act like those guys. I mean, not exactly, but try to act like those guys.
Do you know how was practice yesterday? Did it take a minute for them to settle in, or did they kick right back into gear? Like, okay, let's go, or
Practice.
was it tentative? Or?
Practice. You know, after a game like the night before, when some of your players played so many minutes, there's not really anything you're going to do. So the only people that need a workout are the guys that didn't play much. So we really didn't do much yesterday. You know, we talked about some things, we watched some films, we got some shots up, you know. So it wasn't really a practice. And then, you know, this morning we went over some things. So it was more of a mentally get ready kind of a day than physically get ready.
Since we're not going to see you before you go to Memphis, last few times we've been at practice, but Tuli's been doing more and more. What's her status going forward?
That I don't know. I don't think there's any timetable. We just ask her all the time, how you feel? When we get the word that, hey, she's good to go, the whole thing. But right now it's like a little bit at a time, a little bit here, a little bit there, but I have no idea when the actual date is going to be that, like, hey, she's full go. No idea.
To follow that with the back-to-back road games, is this a good week to do that, to piggyback the games with Memphis and UCF?
To do
when
what?
they're not at school, rather
To
than,
do what?
you know, go on the road and play games instead of them being in
Yeah.
wherever their dorm room or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, if a hotel.
Yeah, I like road games in January. I do. I love road games in January. I like being off campus. I like them being together. You know, I like when I like when it's an extended road trip, you know, where you're not out, back, and then back out. So yeah, I like when a lot of our extended trips come from, you know, January 1st to January 21st. So this comes at a great time for us. I think we can get a lot done on this trip, both physically and mentally.